Well, hello there, Cancer. Welcome to Private Readings. I'm Lady J, and I'm here to talk to you about the 20th through the 26th, of October. We have done the previous 3 weeks already in depth. This has been a very interesting month, hasn't it? We're changing, we're growing, we're becoming different, and we're rolling with the punches as well as sort of integrating the changes, right? The big changes are happening and we're into it, we're working with it, we're stepping up to the plate. This is big news. This is great stuff, and it's exactly what my spirit guides were telling us that we needed to do this month. Very cool. Love this for you, Cancer. This is great stuff. For those of you who are returning, I want to explain that this is a new spread that I'm doing. I'm using, it's loosely based on the astrological houses, the 12 houses, and we're looking at each one of these houses, where you are, what's blocking, what your solution is, using tarot cards. This gives a very in-depth look at all areas of your life. Some things are cross-pollinating a little bit, and some things just aren't, but it's so cool, and I really like it very much. Would love to hear your comments about what you think about this spread, and if it's offering you more, something more meaty to grab hold of, right? That was kind of my intention. This is cool. I'm excited to see it for you and to do it for you. So why don't we get into it, all right? Let's look at, see what we have here. All right. Very nice. So this is the circle of 12, and we're going to go ahead and add 2 more layers to each one for where you are, what's blocking you, and what your solution is. And while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you more about what my guides were saying about what we're all getting into this month. It's important for us to step up and be a part of. And if we want change to happen, we need to be the one who's making that happen, right? You don't sit around waiting for somebody else to help you out or to make things different the way you like them. Or, you know, somebody has to start it, and then other people will join you, I promise. This deck is kind of fun. It's a gift from my sister. Shout out to Miss Carol. And we used it actually last month, which was fun. For the last 2 months we were using it. And it's back. It's the only returning deck, so it'll be in the description box below. But at the same time, I want you to know that there are a couple of different cards in this particular deck. It has some bonus cards from the artist. And one of them has shown up here. We're talking about charity. And we will look at that and see how it plays in that area of your life. All right. So don't be alarmed. Don't be afraid. It will be fine. It has its own personal meaning, and it's kind of neato. So we will look into that. All right. So I'm going to set these aside. Your messages were, well, yeah, we're all stepping up. We're making lists. We're writing things down. We want to be more organized, and we also want to watch our finances, okay? So this is kind of cool. We've got it all figured out, and yet do we, right? So we're here, we're doing our thing, and it's going to be okay. Let's see. This area of your life, this particular section, is going to be all about yourself, right? We're talking about who you are this week, the 20th through the 26th, and you are a person who is working on keeping your finances balanced and square. You're definitely, you know, working on that foundation. You're making sure that you have that nest egg or that little savings account going on. You are much better at that than I am. It's good. You are taking care of that, making sure it's okay. Remember last week you learned how to spend a little bit. So that was cool. You had a good time. And now you're back to it. You're back to the, okay, no. We have to go back to saving. We need to go back to making sure we're covered in all areas. So smart. So capable. What's blocking you? Maybe you're lacking the tools to make this happen. Okay, so your magician has shown up to say, I don't really have what it takes this moment. I don't have the extra cash flow. Something else broke. Whatever's going on there that's blocking you from using your tools, using the things you normally do. Maybe your internet is down and you can't really get there from here. But you're working through a blockage that's stopping you and slowing you down. So just hold and don't spend. That's how you really save money. That's the most basic way of saving money, is just stopping moving. Stop spending. There you go. And here we have, of course, the Ace of Swords showing me that you will find yourself more empowered. You are going to be the one getting more in charge of a situation having to do with yourself and your money. You're going to feel more powerful in the moment. Even though you're being blocked from your personal tools, you're really going to feel more in charge of the situation. So this is good. This is a confidence builder. This is you coming out feeling more confident even with your tools blocked. You're like, you know, it's okay. I don't have to do everything all in one step. I just need to sit still and everything else will work out. All right. So let's see what these 3 cards are talking about with your money department, right? 8 of Pentacles. You are indeed working your butt off and making your money, okay? Your money didn't grow on a tree. You worked for it. It came from actual labor. So you are really, really working this out, and it's going very well, okay? Good for you. Very good. We like that. Things around you are not currently fair in the money department, so maybe you will find either, for some of you, it's going to be other people being paid more to do the same job. Maybe they have that seniority situation. But then there will be other situations where the pricing of things isn't fair, and you need to work it out, okay? You need to kind of bring yourself to the table, do your due diligence, and know that you're blocked from getting a fair deal on whatever it is you're looking at, okay? So the 6 of Pentacles is here showing me that there is that part of you going, hey, I worked for it. I know what's going on. There's something, for some of you, there's going to be somebody in your world who's not being treated fairly, right? Something is going unfairly, and now you want to make it fair by sharing a little of what you got. Maybe you feel like you got overpaid in a situation, and that's really a bummer. Because, you know, if somebody else is not making the same or being treated poorly, you really can't stand for that nonsense. It really hurts your heart. And I see you trying to make it right in some way. It might be easier to do with a gift basket, or it might be smarter if you just... I can feel the politics of the situation being that you really need to not do anything because it isn't for you to fix, okay? It's like the big bosses need to fix this. You can't fix this on a weekly basis by giving extra to somebody who's not getting treated right, okay? You can make their life as not miserable as possible, and that is your gig. That is the way you can fix that. I realize that the joy of giving money would be great, but it's unsustainable. You cannot continue to do that and keep your finances square, okay? That it's not your job to pay somebody else so they feel better, okay? So stop that. You earned the amount you're making by working it. And it was time. You know, it's all about time. But I know that your brain is like, maybe we can make a little kitty. And I was like, stop. It's not your job to get them paid, okay? It's your job to treat them nicely while you're working with them, knowing that they're having a hard time with all the junk that people put on them and they don't make any money. So now we have the Queen of Wands. We're talking about, this is your communication department. So you're using your down-to-earth, awesome self, and or there is another person who's down-to-earth, easygoing, and like a sister from another mister, who's absolutely going to be communicating with you right now. I feel like you're having a nice exchange with this person. This person is hearing you and understanding your ideas and able and willing to step up and make decisions, but mostly they're just listening, which is very kind of cool. They're doing a good job. Now then, the King of Cups will stand in the way. This is an emotionally based male energy person who genuinely says, stop it. You guys got to stop it. We can't run around doing this. So he's reiterating what I just said over here, which is we can't fix what the big business is doing, okay? There's never been a time when other employees pooled their money to up the ante for somebody else working within the company because they agreed to a price and this is what they're getting paid. It may not be the right price, but it's not... They agreed to it, which is kind of on them, right? Maybe they're due a raise for sure, but it has to do with you guys signing a petition or something like that. It doesn't have to do with, of course, the corporate world changes and they say, well, we're not paying him much and everybody's worried about him, so maybe we ought to set him free so he can go find another job. Yeah, you got to be careful how you handle this. Be careful how this comes across, because we really don't want there to be bad blood or this person to get knocked out. So we're going to calm our cool our jets, relax, and don't overdo it. Okay, you can communicate what you want to do and other things. And we have the Fool as your solution, showing me that even though you've been asked to cool down and calm down, you're going to jump off into something anyway with your communications. So whether this is you creating the petition to send it off and say, everybody needs to sign this so that we can get Bobby paid better since we use him as our whipping boy, or pardon me, we don't say that anymore. But he's the low man on the totem pole. He's doing a lot of work for us, and I do feel like this person is working to help the team, and he works for everybody, not just one person. And so we're wanting to make sure he's getting something, and that's cool. You guys can get him a nice little gift card or something if you feel like that will be an appropriate choice. But remember, you don't want to do anything that's unsustainable, okay? It might be a one-time thing that you do that helps make you feel better. I think it may have more to do with you feeling guilty that you're paid as well as you are. Maybe that's the bigger question. So let's think about that while we move on to the family department. The Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups. Yes, there is somebody in your family that is making themselves into a bit of a nuisance, and they need to be, you don't have to, just step away. You want to step away from communication with that person, because that person is truly causing their own trouble, and they keep coming back wanting more help, and they don't do anything to help themselves, okay? So until they step up and help themselves, we don't need to be the one who's helping them so much. We need to create good boundaries and just step back, right? We aren't releasing our family, we're just creating a good boundary, all right? Yeah, your partner in life is not going to stand for that. So you have a partner in life who's like, nope, we can't do that. That's not cool. It's a personal thing. You've got to figure it out between the two of you. And at some point come to an agreement. So your partner in life is saying, I'm not comfortable right now doing that. And maybe it's one of those, okay, when the winter is over, we can do something like that. We'll create a better boundary when winter is over and we feel like we can move them on. But it's important for you to consider the possibility that it would be great if you're on the same page, okay? So walking away from somebody that you care about, but also realizing that the tower is happening, okay? So this is usually, this can go one of two ways, things coming together or things falling apart. And I want you to know that if the walking away doesn't happen like it needs to and the boundaries aren't built, the tower is assured, okay? So if you can get your partner on board with what you're doing, this will help tremendously, because then you'll be falling together. And no, it won't be going well for the other person. That's kind of the drag of the whole thing, the timing of it all, the whole situation. This shows that you are indeed having an opportunity to release something. The tower is about things taking a 3-month cycle, okay? So whatever the 3-month cycle is, things will fall apart for about 3 months, and they will not look great, all right? I'm not sure if this is for you personally or for somebody in your world who is part of your family, where you're withdrawing from them and then things start to fall apart for them. Yeah, this is quite possibly them falling apart a little bit, but that's how it goes, you know. They weren't putting any effort into the situation. And so their world is falling apart a little bit. They're going to do whatever they do to do what they need to do to find a new opportunity to feel supported, okay? Don't let that be your thing. The truth is, you are taking care of yourself and your own family. You got enough on your plate right now that you don't actually need additional stuff going on. So we're really paying attention to what that means, and absolutely, in a situation where, don't worry, in 3 months this thing is going to resolve itself, and this person that you're setting free, essentially, to handle on their own terms, they'll find a landing, okay? They'll find themselves someplace different than they ever expected, and it'll be better, okay? So, rest assured, your boundaries will help, actually, because if you keep supporting them, they won't ever grow, all right? So now let's move on to love, all right? The love department, structure. You want some structure in the love department. You want to know where you're going and how you got there and what's happening here. That's very interesting. I've seen this card here in several of the readings, so this is cool. Yeah, we want to define things. We want things to be more clear. We want things, maybe we need more structured date night in the love department. Some things are happening within strong relationships that need more structure, okay? But if you're not in a solid relationship or in any relationship at all, except with yourself, maybe you need a little structure with yourself. Maybe you need a little date night with yourself. Maybe you need to show yourself a little self-care on a more regular basis, right? Don't be alarmed. This is what it's about. This could also have something to do with whatever it is your personal passions are in life. Don't be afraid to create time for those personal passions so that you feel more like you're into it and like you're part of it, and it feeds you. It brings you great joy. So if, like, some of you might be into gardening and you might not have been having time to go out in the garden, you'll need to find like an hour a day where you go out and all you do is garden. And then you come in and you do whatever else you need to do. But you give yourself that hour a day to just be in that little bliss that helps your little heart move forward, okay? Cool. And now, what's blocking you? The Queen of Swords. There is a person who's quite powerful, who likes things a very particular way. There might be some rules and boundaries that you need to work extra hard at in your other jobs. And we want you to know that if you can't meet the standard, you need to spend a little more time to get to that standard, right? Which is where it's blocking you, because you're taking that extra hour to the hour you want to put towards your hobby or that thing that feeds your soul. She's taking it. She's trying to get in the way of it by saying, no, you have to do this, this, and this, and you can't be doing this, that, and the other thing. So we're going to be fighting for what we want, all right? The Knight of Wands shows me that you're going to stand up for what you want and say, look, I can meet those standards, and I will do my best to meet those standards, but I need this 1 hour. So I really like that. You are creating a structure, and you're fighting for your structure. Nice. Standing up for yourself. Confidence, confidence. Did I mention you were going to have some more confidence? Hello. Very nice, Cancer. Good job. So, the work health department, we have the Ace of Cups. We were talking about the gift of love in this situation. There's the gift of something you feel happy and passionate about. You're excited to do it. You are very all about it, right? This is very much so married, I think, to whatever this is that you love so much. That thing that feeds your soul, you are totally in love with it. You're ready. It could be working out every morning, and you're wanting to make sure that you do that on the regular basis. It also it could be the work that you're into, that you're like, oh my God, I'm so into my work. And creating a structure where you need an hour a day to go through your emails, or you need an hour a day just to envision the future and play on your big board, your big dry board. You're creating goals and dreams, and then you just flip that baby over at the end of that hour, and you've had that moment where you've organized your day in some way towards those dreams and goals. Perfect. Whatever it is you need to do, You're into it, and you're ready for it, and you're creating space for it, creating a structure. You're going to fight for that hour, and that's good. And I think this is connected to it, all right? It has to do with work and or your health. Nice. Hermit. So the thing that's blocking you is you're not getting any time alone to do that. You have somebody who keeps walking into your office. Maybe they're a co person in your office, or this is the dogs coming into your room while you're trying to work out, or somebody keeps interrupting you. Maybe your kids won't give you that hour alone to do that yoga. You're having some issues creating this brilliant space to do the structure that you want to do. So you're going to have double whammy on frustration in that situation, but I think you're going to find some happy solutions. Like, it's only an hour, right? So you're going to send your one guy, the guy who keeps coming into the office, you're like, hey, I want you to take the next hour and go do filing over there. Because you don't keep the file cabinets in your office. They're somewhere else. I'm going, like, every morning I want you to take these files and go over there. Perfect. Or maybe it's only once a week you need this hour. And likewise, you hand him a huge pile of files. You say, for the first hour of this day, you're going to go over there and do that. Thank you. Or whatever time it takes you to do that. You're gone for an hour anyway. Perfect. And so you're going to master these blocks, okay? I feel like even though it feels insurmountable, I feel like you're going to make it work, all right? Fighting for your ideas. The Nine of Swords is showing up here as your solution. Remembering how you used your power in the past and doing it differently, okay? So maybe in the past you said, get lost, you know? Hey, get out of here, get lost, be done. I don't need you here, and you need to go. Bye. But now instead you're going to give them purpose. You're going to make a point of creating something for them to do that is good for you and good for them. And presto changeo, they're off on the way. Maybe this is your person over here that you're, over here, that you're trying so hard to help out. Yeah, that was here. So maybe that's how it is you're trying to figure out a way to make it safer. Or, oh, you should go help so-and-so this week, right? Or every week at this time, you're going to go help so-and-so. And presto, they'll disappear from the room. Because this is that person who helps you, but, right, we're cross-pollinating here. Your money and your work are all in the same department, right? So, yeah, you're going to be having the person who helps you the most end up going off to help someone else because they do more than one group. Excellent. Nice. I like that. That's good. I like it very much. Let's move on now to the next area of your world. We're talking about marriage and partnerships. Okay, so in marriage and partnerships, we are working on our communication skills. Page of Cups is here. We want to remember to remind our person that we love them, or that our coworker, we want to remind them that we care. And we're going to lighten things up. Okay, so even as we're going through this stuff, like, interesting, we have all this happening. We're learning how to communicate better with our people and say, hey, check it out. I appreciate you so much, but you're going to do it in a fun way, right? You're going to have a little fun. It's not all serious all the time, so maybe it's time to play a little trash can basketball or whatever. So you're like having some fun. Bring some joy to the experience of being around your person at work, or play a little in a safe way, right? When you're not going to get caught by the humans that are very intense. But then, of course, if you're at home and in marriage, you can like send playful texts and let people know, hey, I'm thinking about you, la la la. And all of that will help to create a little play. Remember to flirt with your person if you're in a relationship or in a marriage that you're wanting to. And there might be a little work flirtation. I mean, there's sometimes that you can't help but, I mean, it doesn't mean anything because you both know you're each married or whatever, but the flirtation at work that keeps work interesting and fun and lovely. At least in my world, my prior worlds, it was perfectly normal and natural to do so, and it was fun, and it made the day pleasant. is good. There's a lot to be said for it. It doesn't ever mean anything. Everyone knows who's going home to who, but you can have a little fun and remind yourself that you're alive and it's fun. You don't have to be so serious at work all the time. Okay. So then, the area where we're blocked in this area is the Death card. Needing to release something. We want to remember to release something so that we can move forward. Okay. So we might have to release the fact that we're in control of what's going on with the finances at work. Right here, I'm not in charge of this stuff. I can't make sure he gets paid better, but we can have more fun and have a good time. Okay, so you release that. Actually, the problem is you're blocked from releasing something. Sorry, you cannot release something right now. So maybe the information that you've gleaned about this situation that you think is so incredibly unfair in that situation with the coworker, you're just going to have to keep it light and happy because you don't want to tell him the truth that he's underpaid and you can't fix it, okay? And if this is your person at home, there is information you have that you can't share some information with them, okay? So just be aware that there's something going on. It's going to really mess up the flirtation, okay? So just keep in mind that whatever this information is will put a kibosh on the romance, right? Okay? So we want to either time it so that it's properly placed and it doesn't ruin the mood per se, but then we work it through, all right? So remember, our solution is to remember past relationships, and it wasn't about keeping a secret. I'm not about you keeping a secret from your partnerships, but I am about you properly timing the divulsion of information. You'll need to watch for a proper moment when the mood is right, so that you don't want to hold your coworker back. If he needs to know he's drastically underpaid, then you just have to find the right moment to tell them and then set them free, realizing that if this person decides on their own to move on, that's their business, right? But now you've given them the information they need and a letter of recommendation so that presto changeo, they can do what they need to do. We talked about communication and doing the fool thing and jumping off and doing it without regard for yourself per se, and that's cool. When you care more about somebody else's happiness than you do about your own, that's kind of cool. I think that when you're helping somebody move forward, realizing that they're being treated, it helps, right? And you'll feel better. But remember, the timing has to be right. And if this is your personal relationship, and you need to bring out something that is going to be less than perfect, right? This information you're not able to share it with them right now, okay? But when you do, it will be something that you'll get the support you need, and you don't want to hold it back from your person. You've done this in the past and had it go and blow up in your face. So don't wait too long, all right? Do not wait too long. Remember your communication fool. Jumping off. Perfect. Now then, let's talk about death and release. Ta-da! So you are letting go of something, all right? This is the Ace of Pentacles. This may be the gift of free money coming your way, but for some reason, whatever this is, you're going to find a way to, some of you are going to be very altruistic and help out your coworker. Like, here, have a little extra something for your stocking. Maybe it's a scratcher. You want a couple of $100 on a scratcher, and you're like, here, you take this scratcher. This makes me feel better. Do your thing, okay? And now you've released it, and everything is cool. You feel better already. The Five of Pentacles is showing me that you are not able to rally people around or ask other people's opinions about what you're doing. You're not getting any financial advice, okay? There's no financial advice coming your way. You are doing things all on your own without much backup. It isn't like your other people in your world are on the same page you are. They aren't feeling the pinch about this situation that you are. This is somehow cutting at your moral core, okay? Your moral core is getting frustrated and upset by all this stuff, and so you're fixing it by your own way of doing it. So yeah, this is going to actually have you digging deep inside yourself and learning that I have to let someone go that I care about and that I love, and it hurts. But you're not even cutting them loose. You're giving them information that will make them want to go. Because who wouldn't, right? If you find out you're being paid way under what you should be, and you go, yeah, I'm going to have to make some decisions here. And within short order, they will make those decisions. And you've instigated that situation. But you've done everything you can, and it will feel painful to you to lose the person, but you also know you'll feel better in the end for having released them, because holding them back felt worse by a lot, okay? So yay, you're working it out. Now something else is moving. Let's talk about the movement and the travel at home. Or here, right here, we're talking about movement and travel and how things are changing, right? Ten of Swords, you are in charge of what's going on. Yep, indeed, you are in charge. You have definitely, you've put everything in place. You put everything in play. Good for you. Charity is blocked. You cannot give them a bunch more stuff on the way out, right? You can't give them your money. You can't give them anything else except a letter of recommendation and maybe a nudge in the right direction, but you cannot do much more. Otherwise, it'll be bad for you. So stop doing that, okay? You've given them the scratcher. That's it. Be done, right? Stop doing that. You gave them the letter of recommendation, had a scratcher. Cool. Good for you. That was it. There's no more to do. Yeah. Your karma is strong now. You've done lots of good karmic things to help clarify the situation, and you've made things much better for someone else. Very good for you. Love that. Love that you've built up some juju in your fate and karma department. Nice. And that's it. Now you can sleep better. Now you got to work a little harder to do your own filing. It's okay. Someone else will come and fill that gap. Hopefully they'll grab somebody else who shouldn't be being paid, right? And then presto, maybe it'll be an underling, a way underling, but it's fine. Everybody starts at the bottom. Sometimes people end up being volunteers at a place because they're so excited about learning it that they want to give their time freely. And that's okay. That's their gig. They're learning a craft in that moment. Let them learn their craft and teach them. But obviously don't be mean. There you go. So we're moving on to ambition. What gets you up in the morning? What makes you, oh yeah, let's hit this. I'm excited. Well, stuck in your power, not really sure how to handle that situation. Of course, you have the power. You've been gifted the power. You've learned all these things. This whole week is very clearly all about this person and how you're handling it. You felt a little stuck. You certainly weren't sure how to handle the situation. And finally, in the communication department, you said, okay, I should just tell this person what's going on and give them a letter of recommendation so they can do what they need to do. And that's all you really can do, right? Your big idea is blocking you. So even as you're trying to look at it from a different perspective and come up with a solution, you've come up with a big idea. Like, oh, what if we had all the people do this and da-da-da-da-da? It's like, it's not about everybody doing anything, okay? It's about you doing everything, okay? So now, fighting for your finances, fighting for your own worth and value in the situation, you do realize, don't you, that all of this is you being reminded of a time when you were drastically underpaid. This is why this is causing you so much strife. There was a time when you were drastically underpaid, and you found out at the end, and you were like, oh my God, I'm so angry that people took advantage of me. And now you're doing this thing where you're fighting for your worth and value. Like, if I keep fighting about them, they might decide to reduce my wages to make their wages better, finding their money to fix that. So ultimately, you want to just take a deep breath and go, okay, This has been a learning experience this week, okay? You are learning a lot. You are figuring things out. You're helping this person out to the best of their ability and setting them free. Nice. I think it's really the best solution. You'll sleep better at night, but you also won't, like, give up your job. You don't want to do that, right? That's not what you're doing. You love your job. So keep your job, do your thing. Maybe your idea wasn't the best, and that's okay. Here we are. We're moving on to the Friends department. All right. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. You had the Nine of Pentacles before here in this area. So your friends are all doing good cash-wise. You're all doing good together. Remember, we talked about the possibility some of you might be winning the lottery together and having all that money to spread around. That's nice. But you didn't get along too much on that front. So yeah, where you're blocked is having success with your ideas. Sharing your ideas amongst your people isn't really going well. So, it's not for them. Go ahead and journal it out and let it be that way. Your friends aren't ready, willing, or able to support you with your ideas right now. Sometimes they're just talking about football, you know? So that's okay. But do stand firm in who you are and what you're doing. This is the Nine of Wands. We don't want you to change who you are. We just want you to pick your time and place. Remember, we want to pick time and place. We were doing a little bit of that over here, picking the time and place to share with your coworker or partner this information that's going to be interesting, right? So, time and place. Stay who you are and know that when you're there with your friends, you're going to talk about the money, or you're going to talk about football, you're going to talk about something other than everything else that's on your mind. Your big idea isn't going to be well received this time, okay? So just let it be okay. You want to have a good time with your friends. You don't want to make it more uncomfortable or frustrating. So let's talk about an area that's unclear, that's nebulous, a little bit of the unknown, right? The unknown area of our lives, a little bit of a secret going on here. And we have the Seven of Swords talking about how needing to take your power back in a situation, right? Indeed, I totally get that. This makes perfect sense to me now that you have decided to take your power back. You don't need your friends' support per se to be who you are. You don't need them to tell you you're doing a good job and pat you on the back. You're doing it anyway. And you're really taking control. I mean, you have a lot of swords cards here that are telling me that, yeah, no, you've handled your business. You're taking care of this. And you're really getting into the solution for yourself, right? We have the Moon card. Dreams and goals are blocked. Even as you're taking your power back, your dreams and goals are blocked a little bit. So you have a dream that, oh, it could be so perfect if we just did this, this, and this. La, 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 la. But we've already understood your big idea was blocked, right? So your big idea got blocked. That was your big idea. We want you to know that your dreams and goals and your big idea are being blocked right now. Even as you're fighting for your worth and value. Just stay the course. Do the fool maneuver over here. Help this person move on their own esteem, right? They know what they're getting into. They know what's happening now, and they can make their own decision. But your dreams and goals are blocked. But the sun is here. The sun is here. Oh, thank goodness. In this unknown department, you're going to be in a place where you can learn and understand and not have all the answers. So be aware that you will be asking questions about what's going on with this position and how's that working and how did this person end up being paid so little. But let the information come in and then make sure that your other person understands what happened and how they got there. And or maybe that you don't need to share everything with them, right? But you will share what you need to know. And you'll find out what you need to know so that you have good information in your noggin next time. This is wonderful news. This is a great, very strong, very empowering. I love that. And yeah, we knew that you were going to have all the power right here. You may not, and you don't have all the tools at your disposal. You don't have all the tools. And if you don't have all the tools, you just got to make do with what you got, okay? Do the best you can with what you have, and you'll be all right. Okay, Cancer? You are really coming up and stepping up into this situation. I really like what you're creating here. This is good stuff. All right. So we will talk next week about the 27th of October through November 2nd. Very big deal. Last week of the month. Very good stuff. And yeah, I really appreciate every single one of you for being here. I love you guys. And if you have got this far, I want you to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons. It costs nothing to do so. It's totally free. And it would help my tiny little baby channel grow a little bit. And I love to hear you guys coming back and checking out what I got for you. All right? Things are always changing, and we're just going to have to immerse ourselves in the change and accept those changes as they come and get after it. All right? So I'll talk to you next week. Thank you, Cancer.